Next, we are going to work through two very useful intermediate sketch tools: linear sketch pattern and circular sketch pattern. But first, we must create a simple sketch. So I'm going to go to the sketch command, select the front plane, and then draw a circle at the origin. Now I'm ready to begin linear sketch pattern. The property manager opens, and in the property manager, I have direction 1 showing direction 1 along the x-axis. I also have direction 2 along the y-axis, entities to pattern, and instances to skip. Normally with the linear sketch pattern and the circular sketch pattern, the very first thing you want to specify is the entities to pattern. Now I am showing arc 1, which happens to be this circle here, so I am good when it comes to entities to pattern. So since that is selected correctly, I am going to return to the top of the property manager. The first window under direction 1 is x-axis, and that's x-axis by default. I can change that to a different line or an edge of a model. I'm going to leave this at x-axis and move down the property manager. Notice the number of instances is set to 2. I'm going to increase this to 6. And notice the preview on the screen, the 6 circles are on top of each other. So I am going to change the spacing and increase it to 30 millimeters. Inside of the direction 1 property manager, notice we have a checkbox for dimension X spacing and display instance count. I always recommend that you check both of these. That way, these two values are displayed on the screen, and you can change those values on the screen and not be required to return to this property manager. The last item under direction 1 is angle. It's currently at 0 degrees. Notice what happens if I change it to 45. I'll reset it to 0. And now let's go down to direction 2. Direction 2 is along the y-axis. Notice most of these items are grayed out, and that's because the number of instances is set to 1. As soon as I increase this, you'll see those values are available to be changed. And notice I have my instances to 6. I'll increase the spacing to 30 millimeters. And also notice my angle is 90 degrees. Just like direction 1, I recommend that you put a check mark in front of dimension Y spacing, display instance count, and dimension angle between axes, because that allows you to change the values on the screen. Now if I fit this to the screen, and we go down to the bottom of the property manager, and select instances to skip, and then select inside of the window, you'll notice a magenta dot appear inside of each instance. To skip an instance, you simply click the magenta dot, and the instance is skipped. At any point you want to return those instances, simply click the dot again, and it reappears. Now let's go back to direction 2, and we'll put the number of instances back to 1, so we can talk about circular sketch pattern next. I'm going to go ahead and close out of linear pattern, and we'll fit this to the screen, and then go into circular sketch pattern. Just like linear sketch pattern, the very first thing you normally want to select is entities to pattern. So I'm going to select inside of the window, and then go out to the screen and select each circle I want to pattern. Going back to the top of the property manager, my very first window here is asking me for a point to pattern about. And currently this is my origin, which is correct for this example here. Right below this, I have a setting for center X and center Y. This allows you to set the pattern center along the X-axis and the Y-axis. Right below those two windows, I have 360 degrees. This is my angle. And notice I also have equal spacing checked. If I uncheck equal spacing, and I change this 90 degrees to 30 degrees, notice I have 30 degrees between each instance. I am going to return this to equal spacing and 360 degrees. Just like the linear sketch pattern, I recommend that you show the dimensions on the screen for radius and angular spacing, along with the instance count. I am going to increase my instances to 8. And just like the linear sketch pattern, I can also skip instances. I'm going to go ahead and close out a circular pattern and close out of the sketch just so you can see a cleaner image. And there you go.